Broadcasting from the RTN 16 studios, welcome to Spotlight on Rowlett. I'm Tammy Dana-Bashian, Mayor of Rowlett.
And I'm Brian Funderburk, City Manager.
Recently, the Rowlett City Council formally adopted the fiscal year 2020 budget. On today's show, we're going to give you an overview of this year's budget and how it's created every year. Here's this month's Spotlight story. Approving the annual budget and determining the resulting tax rate is the most important function of your City Council, and we take it very seriously. It is imperative that we utilize your tax dollars in a fiscally responsible manner to bring value to our citizens and our community. Did you know that only approximately 26% of your property taxes stay in Rowlett to fund the local services that impact you day in and day out? Over 50% of your property taxes fund the school district, and approximately 23% funds the county, hospital, and community college services. Even though we were recently named the 8th fastest growing city in the United States with our population range, we have historically operated an incredibly lean organization, as evidenced by being named the 5th leanest local government in North Texas. We are happy to report that the budget is maintaining our current actual tax rate of 0.757173 per $100 of taxable value. Your local tax dollars fund our extensive city services, including police and fire, infrastructure improvements and maintenance, public works, parks, and the library for only $4.15 per day for the average Rowlett resident. Recently, I had a chance to discuss the budget process with Rowlett Finance Director Wendy Badgett and Budget Officer Vlad Stier. Let's watch that video. I'm very happy to be here with Finance Director Wendy Badgett and Budget Officer Vlad Stier. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk about the budget. Pretty exciting stuff.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
We're excited to talk about it with you.
You know, this is a long process.
It definitely is.
When does this start, Wendy?
Well, the budget process actually starts for staff in March of every year. As soon as the audit's over, the budget process starts. It goes on for several months. We involve all of our departments in discussing their revenues, their expenses for the upcoming year, the forecast that they can provide to us. We have budget sessions with council, and finally the budget is adopted in September of each year.
So it's more than half the year
It
that you're
definitely
working
is more
on the
than,
budget.
The budget process actually is about 9 months of each year.
There's two components of our budget: M&O, maintenance and operations, and INS, interest and sinking fund. Vlad, can you tell us a little bit about what those mean?
Sure. So the two parts of the tax rate, like you said, the M&O and the INS. M&O stands for maintenance and operations, and just like it sounds like, it goes to fund the city's operating needs. So salaries, any supplies, any contracts, all of that goes through the M&O portion. The INS portion, which I call the debt service portion, is used to fund the payments on the bonds that the city issued through the election process.
So that's why all this infrastructure work that's going on in the city, that's part of the budget.
Absolutely.
That's part of the tax rate.
Absolutely.
That's how we fund all that. So Wendy, we hold a 2-day annual strategy session every summer.
Yes.
With City Council. Can you talk to the viewers a little bit about what that's all about?
During that opportunity, we allow departments to come out and present a case to council about what's going on in their department and their needs in their department. That is, for example, this summer where our police department came in and spoke about the response times and how that needed to be a focus of this year's budget. So that provides a really good opportunity for our departments to come speak about their needs and really educate the council and the citizens that are watching or that attend on what's really needed in the city budget each year.
And it's more than just the departments, because that's a time where City Council can really sit down with the executive staff and talk about, at a 30,000 foot level, the priorities of the city and where the focus should be for the budget. And we really hit on, some of those strategic priorities and the challenges that we're facing and how we're going to prioritize meeting those challenges.
That's exactly right, Mayor. With the adoption of the strategic plan this year, the strategic priorities were really a focus of this year's budget, and that was really highly discussed during this year's council strategic meeting.
So Vlad, I think you're appropriate to answer this one. After the annual strategic meeting, is that the end of council's involvement?
I would say that's more the beginning. The strategy session is where the council gets the first look at the revenues for the upcoming year, especially the property tax revenues, which are the major funding source for all of the operations. And then after the city manager's proposed budget is submitted to council in August, that's when really the in-depth analysis starts. That's when council starts looking through the budget and asking staff questions, upon which is followed by two fairly long budget work sessions where the most important aspects of the budgets are discussed in detail between council and staff, departmental staff, finance staff, to really help everybody understand how the budget was formulated and what's in the budget, and most importantly, what's not in the budget.
So Vlad, we had some declining revenue sources this year.
Yeah,
That was a little bit challenging. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Sure. After the state legislature completed, they passed Senate Bill 1152, which changed the way that some of the providers push forth on their franchise fees. And that impact was about $110,000 on an annual basis to the city. Now this year, for fiscal year 2020, we lucked out a little bit because since it starts in January, we get the first quarter. We get 25% of that. But starting in fiscal year 2021, that revenue stream will decline by, we estimate, about $110,000. On top of that, it never rains but it pours. We had a major contributor to sales tax move their operations out of the city, which really limited the available revenues. Now, some of that, of course, was offset by growth from our remaining tax base. However, it was still definitely felt in the budget process.
And that business that moved their purchasing operations out of the city, we lost about 10% of our sales tax revenue. Right. And so that impacted this budget, this fiscal year 2020 budget for the first time. Yes. So those were a couple of the challenges that we had. We also had some increased revenue sources. Which one of you wants to talk just a little bit about that, property tax wise?
So property tax wise, we had a little bit less than 10% growth in our valuations. We had a good bit of new construction, which also really helped us. And with that, we definitely see that in the next few years, with the Sapphire Bay coming online and with Bayside continue growing, we'll continue seeing that new construction. So we're seeing some growth in that. Another really good revenue source that we've seen is our interest earnings. With the market doing better and the interest rates increasing from where they were after the recession, we're starting to see increased revenue earnings for the city, as well as from the city getting more involved and actively investing more of its cash.
So Wendy, what did we do with these increased revenue sources? Where did that mainly get allocated in this upcoming year's budget?
With the strategic plan being adopted, we really were focusing on strategic priorities. And the highest priority that we have recognized from citizens is public safety. So council really focused a lot on public safety, and we were able to add 8 police officers and a dispatcher to this year's fiscal year 2020 budget.
Well, the good news is we maintained the same actual tax rate this year compared to the prior year. And we were able to really fund some additional items. 2 years ago, we had a 1 cent tax rate decrease. Last year, we had a 2 cent actual tax rate decrease. We were able to maintain our rate this year. We didn't increase it, we didn't decrease it. You know, City Council really felt like it was important to allocate those dollars to public safety. So I think I'll conclude with, I think, something that was very near and dear to your heart, Vlad. We were able to keep into the budget a new budget tool that I think is real important. Just talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Last year, one of the projects that I was given was to find a way through either a methodology or a software of a better way of looking at a budget and approaching a budget and aligning it with the strategic priorities. And what I've discovered is a tool called priority-based budgeting. It's one of the best practices by GFOA, Government Finance Officers Association, National League of Cities, the International City Managers Association. So it's a well-recognized tool, and what this will allow us to do is to cost out all of the programs that we do, which in itself is huge for us to better understand what do these programs really cost. And then we will quantitatively be able to align them to the strategic plan. So we'll be able to see which programs are most aligned to the plan and which programs are perhaps aligned to some degree, and then some programs are not really aligned. And that will really give us a good basis in the years to come, especially with the Senate Bill 2 and the restricted revenues, to reallocate funding. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be layoffs and reductions in force. That's not at all what the goal of this is. It's to better understand how we spend our money and allocate the money where it's most aligned to those strategic priorities.
Well, I'm excited to see the process in the coming year. I really appreciate you both being here, and I know it's been a hard but very satisfying budget year. At least it has been from the City Council standpoint. And I'm looking forward to what we're seeing in the future with aligning our strategic priorities with the budgeting process. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you would like more information about this year's city budget, I encourage you to read the Mayor's Spotlight newsletter or view the fiscal year 2020 budget document. Both are now available on Rowlett.com. So Brian, this was the hardest budget I've ever been involved in, and this I think is my 7th budget, but it was also one of the most satisfying budgets I think that I've been involved with.
You know, Mayor, I agree with that. This was a tough budget from the perspective that there are so many challenges coming to the city. When you are the 8th fastest growing community in the country, and you think about all of the needs, it really bubbled up this year that public safety and some other things had to be worked, and we had to do the right thing there. And I was so proud of this council and our staff for fighting through that and working through all those details, answering all those questions, and getting to a place where we can do the right thing. And as I shared with council the night, it really fit like a glove when we were done.
It really did. You know, when you start this process, you don't know where you're going to end up, and you see all the needs, incredible amount of needs throughout our city.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're no different than any other community. But being able to prioritize those and figure out how to allocate those budget dollars it's really important. And it was a very satisfying process this year. We took care of our employees, and our employees take care of our community, and it's very, very important.
Yes. The budget isn't the only item making news in Rowlett. Here are some recent stories of interest. Economic development staff, members of the Economic Development Advisory Board, and City Council recently promoted the City of Rowlett at the North Texas Commercial Association of Realtors Expo at the Gillies Event Center in Dallas. NACCAR is a half-day commercial real estate information and product convention that attracts over 2,000 commercial professionals from the state. The expo is the premier opportunity for commercial real estate professionals to gather new market information, meet the most active developers, discover the latest products, and network with some of the industry's top brokers. Recently, we held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for our new playground at Twin Star Park. Mayor Tammy Dana-Bashian, along with council members Brown, Grubasic, Margolis, were joined by the citizens of Rowlett during the ribbon-cutting ceremony featuring food, drinks, and fun kids activities. The Rowlett Police Department held a fundraiser benefiting the Special Olympics at the Dunkin' Donuts on Waterview Parkway. Thank you to every citizen who stopped by and donated. You know, Mayor, again, as we always talk about, there's just so much going on in the city right now. And I was really proud to see our police department benefiting the Special Olympics. Yeah,
there is a lot going on at any point in time, and it's hard to keep up. It's hard for me to keep up, so I'm sure it's hard for the average citizen out there to know what's going on. You know, our Friday at 5 publication is a great way to keep up with that. And, you know, we're very, 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 very happy that we are so involved in our North Texas community and in our local community. Our Parks and Recreation Department stays busy with special events year-round. This month, the Parks Department is teaming up with the Diversity and Inclusion Commission to offer an experience unlike any before. Taste of Diverse City will be held on Saturday, October 5th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Village of Rowlett Downtown. Come celebrate the diversity of Rowlett and our surrounding areas. There'll be food trucks, vendors, a kids area, and a variety of live performances. This is a free event that's perfect for the entire family. For additional information about Taste of Diverse City, please call 972-412-6170 or visit rowlett.com/Parks and Rec. I'm really excited about Taste of Diversity this year. It's a new name, and it's going to be a great family event. I'm telling you, Parks and the Diversity Inclusion Commission have worked so well together, and they really want to bring a diversity event to the city that we're really, really proud of and our citizens will really enjoy.
Well, Mayor, as you know, when we've done these events in the past, they are widely attended because people really like all the different things that they see. For me, it's about the food. So let's just be blunt about it. But I really enjoy kind of experiencing and just kind of being out there and seeing what everybody's doing, the dancing and the shows that they put on, the food, all of that. It's just such a great experience.
I think we have 10 to 12 different performances, so it's going to be a fun time. I hope you all can join us. Every month, we answer your emails on air about city-related topics. It's a segment we call Ask the Mayor. Brian, let's check the inbox for some emails.
Mayor, our emails this month pertain to construction projects in our city. The first email asks, when will the Main Street reconstruction be finished? They've been working on it since school let out in May. And the second email says, really would like to see the construction all around Skyline Drive be completed soon. Pretty much every street near Stevens Elementary, Coyle Middle School, and Rowlett High School is torn up.
Although the prospect of brand new streets and infrastructure is exciting, we do understand that construction can be disruptive while it is occurring. These are actually two different projects, so I'd like to update you on both of them. Funded through the 2015 bond election, the Main Street Reconstruction Project includes not only rebuilding Main Street and its infrastructure, but also carrying the downtown look and feel through to PGBT with wide sidewalks, parking, landscaping, and streetscaping. The project also includes the construction of a dedicated right turn only lane from PGBT Access Road onto Main Street at Rowlett High School. Underway since the end of May, this project is estimated to take approximately 300 days, so we're almost halfway there. A public meeting presenting info on this project was held in May and broadcast live on the City of Rowlett Public Works Facebook page and is still there available to view. You can also find more information at rowlett.com/CIP. Phase 2 of the Lake Country Estates reconstruction is also underway. Funded through the 2018 bond election, this includes a complete rebuild of streets, sidewalks, curbs, water, sewer, and drainage systems on Cheyenne and Linwood, along with the addition of street trees and new lighting. This project is approximately 35% complete and should be finished around mid-2020. Please know that we do try to mitigate the inconvenience experienced by our citizens to the extent possible during these reconstruction projects, and we very much appreciate your patience throughout this process. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to our weekly Friday at 5 newsletter. Each week, we update you on the progress of these and all other projects around town. Sign up to receive the Friday at 5 at rowlett.com or find it posted on our homepage and City of Rowlett Facebook page every Friday around 5 p.m. We look forward to your questions every month. If you have a question you'd like to ask the mayor about any city-related topic, please email askthemayor@rowlett.com.
This month's Spirit of Rowlett Award winner is Lee Shaw. This award recognizes Rowlett residents doing extraordinary things for our community. Do you know someone who has made a difference in Rowlett? Nominate them for the Spirit of Rowlett Award at rowlett.com/spirit. Let's watch the interview with this month's winner, Lee Shaw.
Hi, I'm Whitney Lanning with the Rowlett City Council, and I'm here today with my friend Lee Shaw, our October Spirit of Rowlett awardee. Lee is a dedicated volunteer with the Rowlett Fire Department and has received numerous awards recognizing her contributions to our city. Hello, Lee. How are you?
Hi, Whitney. So glad to be here. This is the perfect forum to talk about volunteering, and I appreciate all of this.
Lee, tell us how long you've lived in the city.
I've lived here 14 years. My husband had looked at areas that he wanted to move to when he got this job in the city of Dallas. He was the emergency manager there. And so he looked all around, the demographics, everything that he could possibly look at, and he said that he really liked this because it was going to be a growing, wonderful community for families.
Lee, tell us about what you've done here.
Okay.
You've got loads of experience that I'm sure you put to good use here in the city. So tell us about what you've done here in the Rowlett to make us better.
Well, I am a planner. I plan everything. So the emergency plan in 2009 had to be implemented. I mean, it had to be updated, and it was a basic plan. So with that, it's done every 5 years. And when Chief Harris came, he was made the fire chief
Yes.
in February of 2009, and I called him in April, and I said, "Do you need any help?" Which was really perfect timing for him and for me. And he said, "Yes, we do need you coming for the interview." So I did. And we worked on the emergency plan from that day until we submitted it in September of 2009. It had to go to the state. It's a lot of work. The emergency plan is the document that we use to respond to emergencies, tornadoes, flooding, whatever we may have. I have worked with emergency plans. I like to think that I'm a mentor for the people that come into my office and we sit and talk, because I had employees before in the 911 center, and I worked with the police and fire departments. So it was good for me to experience the personal touch that I can give. And if they have a problem or they just want to talk about a situation or a book that we've read, or I bring books in all the time and say, "I want you to read this. It's a good management skill book." So I'm just there to help with whatever they want. Documentation of the tornado was one. That was tough. And but I'm just there for whatever I need to do.
And Lee, I understand you've also had some experience with grants. I know that we recently were awarded a SAFER grant that helped us to hire 9 new firefighters. And talk a little bit about how we did that.
I knew that North Little Rock had got a SAFER grant. So I went there and I talked to the people and I says, "Can I have a copy of it?" Because normally you don't share things like that. And since I came out of there, they were very generous in allowing me to have it. So I brought it back. I went to the city manager, Brian Funderburk, and I went to the fire chief and I said, "Look, you know, the timing is very important on this. Maybe we need to consider getting this." The SAFER grant gets your personnel. It pays for your firefighters' salaries and benefits, which is a lot of money for 3 years. But it also has stipulations. Maybe it'll start at 75%, 50%, then 25%.
Yes.
And so that was good to bring to here, because we're going to need them. We do need them.
Absolutely.
We have needed them.
And that was a very large benefit to the city that saved us over $1.4 million in cost savings for personnel and salaries. So tell us, what's one of your most memorable volunteer experiences that you've had here in Rowlett? I know you've had a lot, and you've been so involved in so many different projects for public safety. Tell us about the one that really sticks out in your mind as that gave you the most satisfaction.
The first time that I got an award for doing that emergency plan, I was shocked. I just thought that's what we ought to do, and I was happy doing it. I am not a person that really looks at getting awards, or that's not why I do this. I do this for the good of our community. I have always been a good public servant.
And we're so much better off as a city for doing that, because not only was it a reauthorization of the plan, but you actually participated in the upgrade of that plan from a very basic one to an advanced level. So is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I do. I think that this is a good time to talk about volunteers. This city has a lot of volunteers.
We do.
People that don't ask for anything. We use our own gas, we use our own time, and for several reasons it's good to volunteer. I mean, who gets the most out of this? I do. I am able to be retired. I have the time, just like others do, and more so the ones that have a full-time job and still volunteer, like in CERT or in VIPS, the Parks Department. There's some at Public Works, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction. I need to see people. I need to be with people. People my age are living longer. And so we need to have something that can feed our soul, if I can say it that way. It's good for me, it's good for the community.
Well, Lee, we appreciate you. It's been my honor to have you here today and talk to the folks of the City of Rowlett. We are so glad that you made the choice 14 years ago to move here to the city and that you chose to volunteer with us. So congratulations again.
Well, thank you very much.
Good luck, and we hope that you'll keep volunteering. And as for you folks in the audience, we hope that you also will continue volunteering for the city. For more information about volunteering, you can go to the city's website, and there are resources there to look for different volunteer groups within the city, as well as volunteering for the city itself. So have a great week. We thank you, and good luck.
Do you know someone who makes a difference in Rowlett? Nominate them for the Spirit of Rowlett Award at rowlett.com/spirit.
Are you looking for some fun, family-friendly Halloween activities? The City of Rowlett has plenty to do on Saturday, October 26th. It's going to be the spookiest day of the year. First up, it's Halloween at Rowlett Animal Shelter. All animals will have an adoption fee of only $25. And there'll be costumes for you to pick up for your new pets on their first Halloween. In addition to that great deal, there will be a doggy costume contest from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. with first, second, and third place prizes. There's also a matching child and dog costume contest from 3:30 to 4 p.m. We'll have a bounce house and candy for all the kiddos. It's all taking place on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And at the end of the event, you can head over to the Village of Rowlett Downtown for
Trunk or Treat. It's a kid-friendly Halloween fair from 5 to 8 p.m. The event provides a safe family environment for trick-or-treaters to go from car to car and get candy. Trunks open at 5 p.m. Join us for food, games, a scream contest, costume and trunk judging, a Harry Potter themed kids area, and a mummy wrapping contest. While you're at Trunk or Treat, check out
Scarecrows on Main. From October 20th through November 17th, you will be welcomed by dozens of scarecrows lining a portion of Main Street. During the Trunk or Treat event, we'll hold social media contests where you'll pick the Scarecrow of the Year. Do you want a chance to showcase your creative skills? Do you have a business or nonprofit that you want to advertise in a fun way along Main Street? Here is your chance by becoming a part of the Scarecrow Invasion. We have spots available free of charge to promote your business or nonprofit organization. Displays must be family friendly and maintained on a daily basis. For more information, contact Neighborhood Life Coordinator Lisa Bowers at 972-412-6165 or email ebowers@rowlett.com. You know, Mayor, we often do Halloween activities. What I really like seeing downtown this year We've expanded the trunk or treat.
Yep.
We're making some changes on the location of the Scarecrows. It's going to be fantastic this month of October.
You know, the downtown area of Rowlett has really come alive with so many different activities. And this is just another one of those. It's really, really fun to be in the downtown area. It's really fun to see all these activities going on. Love Scarecrows on Main. You know, it's so much fun to be a part of it as well as just to go experience that environment.
Whether you have a thought about organizing a crime watch or heading up an HOA, the 2019 Neighborhood Summit can help you get started. This event, jointly hosted by the cities of Rowlett, Garland, and Plano, is open to all residents interested in becoming leaders in their neighborhoods. This includes Crime Watch coordinators, Crime Watch block captain, HOA leadership, or just learn how to connect with your neighbors on your block. This Neighborhood Summit is taking place on November 9th from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Collin College Conference Center in Plano. This conference is open to any Rowlett resident 18 or older. As a Rowlett registered attendee, you will also be invited to a pre-conference mixer in downtown Rowlett on Friday evening, November 8th. Then on Saturday, we will meet at City Hall for coffee and board a bus bound for Plano. You'll leave the conference with skills, ideas, and a community of neighbors that are committed to living in awesome neighborhoods that are safe, welcoming, and connected. Our Neighborhood Life Coordinator, Lisa Bowers, had the opportunity to talk with one of the organizers of the summit. Let's take a look.
Good morning. My name is Elisa Bowers. I'm the Neighborhood Life Coordinator here at the City of Rowlett, and I am delighted to have Laura Castillo here with us today. Laura is with the Office of Neighborhood Vitality in the City of Garland. So welcome, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
The City of Rowlett is going to be partnering with the City of Garland and the City of Plano for the Neighborhood Summit on November 9th, and it's going to be at the Collin Creek campus of the Collin College in Plano. So Laura, I know you have been doing the Neighborhood Summit for a long time. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of the summit, what got you involved in it?
Absolutely. So the summit began in the early 2000s as a way for residents of Garland to come together and learn from subject matter experts on how to invest in their neighborhoods, how to build leadership within their neighborhoods, and really just to come together and be inspired by what others are doing in the city. So it's been a really great journey. I personally started being involved in the summit about 5 or 6 years ago. And since then, we have, like you mentioned earlier, partnered with the City of Plano and the City of Rowlett to make this available to even more residents within the Metroplex.
It's really exciting. Laura has done some amazing things over in Garland. I remember, was it last year that we went for a bike ride?
We did. We love encouraging alternate modes of transportation, using those bike lanes. And so we just love taking residents all throughout the city to discover hidden gems.
Awesome. So last year, the Neighborhood Summit was in Garland.
Yes.
And the keynote speaker was Kristen Schell, who wrote the book, The Turquoise Table.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
She was an awesome, inspiring speaker, and it's my understanding that there were some people in Garland who were pretty inspired by her talk and her book.
Yes, absolutely. There's a little bit of a fan base in Garland for the Turquoise Table, but since then there have been several neighborhoods that have come up to me and say, "Hey, we just put a turquoise table in our common area. We've been having get-togethers with our neighbors," and so it's been a really great impact.
That is awesome. Well, Laura, thank you so much for coming. I am really, really excited about this Neighborhood Summit. Again, it's going to be on November the 9th from 8:30 to 12:30. You can register at northtexasneighborhoodsummit.org. And when you do that, you will also be invited to a pre-summit mixer that's going to be held at Bankhead here in downtown Rowlett on Friday night, and We will also be providing free bus transportation. We'll meet here at the City Hall parking lot at 7:30, and we will have you to the conference and back by 1:15 on that Saturday. So you have a full weekend of a Friday night mixer, a Saturday morning conference, and bus transportation round trip. We would love to have you sign up online, NorthTexasNeighborhoodSummit.org.
Thanks, Elisa. That sounds like a great opportunity. Here are the public meetings in October. There will be no City Council meeting on Tuesday, October 1st, so that Council can attend National Night Out. City Council meetings will be held on October 8th and 15th. The Planning and Zoning meetings will be held on October 8th and 22nd.
Well, Brian, that wraps it up for this month's show. I'm always amazed at how much we have going on in the city. For the latest news and city information, visit the city's website at rowlett.com, and don't forget to follow us on social media. We'll see you next month on Spotlight on Rowlett.